that Lord thus heard about the suspension of the progressive creative functions of the universe due to non-combination of its potencies, such as the Mahatattva. The Supreme Powerful Lord then simultaneously entered into 23 elements with the goddess Kali, his external energy, who alone amalgamates all the different elements. Thus, when the personality of Godhead entered into the elements by his energy, all the living entities were enlivened into different activities, just as one is engaged in his work after awakening from sleep. When the 23 principal elements were set in action by the will of the Supreme, the gigantic universal form or the Vishwarupa body of the Lord came into existence. Verse number 5. As the Lord in his plenary portion entered into the elements of the universal creation, they transformed into gigantic form in which all the plenary systems and all movable and immovable creations rest. So, that was number 5. Now we have to read number 6. Hiranmaya sa Purusha Sahasra Parivatsaran
Sahasra Parivatsaran
Andakosha Uvasapsu
Andakosho Ubasastu
Sarvasattopabrihitaha
Sarvasatto Prabhumithaha.
I can read Prabhuji.
Hiranmaya sa Purushaha
Hiranmaya sa Purusha
Sahasra Parivatsaran
Sahasra Parivatsaran
Saran Andakosho Upasastu
Andakosha Uvasapsu
Sarvasatto Prabhumithaha.
Sarvasattopabrihitaha
Hiranyamaya sa Purushaha
Hiranyamaya
Hiranmaya sa Purusaha
Sahasra Parivatsaran
Sahasra
Sahasra Parivatsaran
Andakosha Uvasapsu
Andakosa
Andakosha
Ubasapsu
Sarvasatvo Pabramhitaha
Sarvasatva Pabrumihitaha.
Hiranmaya sa Purushaha
Hiranmaya sa Purusaha
Sahasra Parivatsaran
Sahasra Parivatsaran
Andakosha Uvashapsu
Andakosha Ubasapsu
Sarvasatvo Pabramhita.
Sarvasatva Pabrumihitaha.
So now we'll read synonyms. Hiranyamaya,
Hiranmaya
Hiranyamaya
the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu who also assumes the Virat Rupa.
the Garbhodakshai Vishnu who also assumes the Virat Rupa.
Sah, he,
Saha I
Purusah,
Purushaha
Purusha
incarnation of the Godhead.
Incarnation of Godhead.
Sahasra,
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 1000.
1000.
1000.
Parivatsaran,
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 celestial years.
celestial
celestial years.
years.
Andakose,
Andakosha,
Andakose,
within the global universe.
within
with
the global
universe.
universe.
Uvasa,
Uvasa,
Uvasha,
resided.
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 Apsu, on the water.
Upshu on
Apsu,
the
on
water.
the water.
Sarva Sattva,
Sarva
Sarva
Sattva,
Sattva.
all living entities lying within him.
All
all
living
living
entity lying
entities
within him.
Upabrahmita,
lying
Upabrahmita.
so spread.
So
so
it
spread.
spread.
Now I'll read the translation. The gigantic Virat Purusha, known as Hiranmaya, lived for 1000 celestial years on the water of the universe, and all the living entities lay with him. One more time, the gigantic Virat Purusha, known as Hiranmaya, lived for 1000 celestial years on the water of the universe, and all the living entities lay with him. Now let's understand this with the help of purport by His Divine Grace, Rishi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. After the Lord entered each and every universe, as the Garbha Udak Sai Vishnu, half of the universe was filled with water. The cosmic manifestation of the planetary system, outer space, etc., which are visible to us, is only one half of the complete universe. Before the manifestation takes place and after the entrance of Vishnu within the universe, there is a period of 1000 celestial years. All the living entities injected within the womb of the Mahatattva are divided in all universes with the incarnation of Garbha Udak Sai Vishnu, and all of them lie down with the Lord until Brahma is born. Brahma is the first living being within the universe, and from him all other demigods and living creatures are born. Manu is the original father of mankind, and therefore in Sanskrit mankind is called Manusya. Humanity in different bodily qualities is distributed throughout the various planetary system. So after the Lord entered each and every universe as a Garbha Udak Sai Vishnu, half of the universe was filled with water. I hope everyone knows that there are three Vishnu, and the various time I showed this Brahma Samhita poster. So where they made a very nice poster showing all three forms of Vishnu. So Here one can see this is the poster. So this is the poster here. And you can see this depicts the spiritual world here on the top and material world here at the bottom. So we are talking about the material world there. So in the material world, this is Mahavishnu who is generating universes from his body pores. And then we have Garbhaudak Sai Vishnu who is here in one universe. You can see here at the bottom of the universe. At the bottom of one universe, Garbhaudak Sai Vishnu is lying down. And then he filled this half of the universe with water. So that's what they are talking about. And then from his novel, the golden lotus sprout and Brahmaji appears on that golden lotus flower. And then there is another third Vishnu. So at the northeastern side of this each universe, you can see this bright thing here. At the northeast side of this universe, this is the sea filled with water. So Chir Udak. So Chir Sagar. This is Chir Sagar. We call Chir Udak Sai Vishnu. So the Vishnu who is lying down in the Chir Sagar, ocean of milk. So this Vishnu is lying down in the ocean of milk, and he is in every atom, and he is also in our heart. So this is Prabhupada is talking about Garbha Udak Sai Vishnu here, and this is Chir Udak Sai Vishnu. So this is Thiru Vishnu. Mahavishnu or Karan Udak Sai Vishnu. And then Vishnu number 2 is Chir Udak Sai Vishnu. Garbha Udak Sai Vishnu. Garbha Udak Sai Vishnu. This is Garbha Udak, Garbha Sagar, Garbha Samudra. And then there is a third one who is lying down in the milk of ocean. Milk of ocean. Ocean of milk. So ocean filled with milk. So he is lying down there in the Chir Sagar. So that's what Prabhupada is talking there. That after the Lord entered each and every universe as Garbha Udak Sai Vishnu, half of the universe was filled with water. The cosmic manifestations of planetary systems, outer space, etc., which are visible to us, is only one half of the complete universe. So it's not full, but only one half. Before the manifestation takes place, and after the entrance of Vishnu within each universe, there is a period of 1000 celestial years. And so there is a time gap there. And all the living entities injected within the womb of the Mahatattva are divided in all universe with the incarnation of Garbha Udak Sai Vishnu. So when Garbha Udak Sai Vishnu comes in each universe, all living entities are injected within the Mahatattva. And then that is divided in all universes. And all of them lie down with the Lord until Brahma is born. So everyone is there in the body of Garbha Udak Sai Vishnu until Brahmaji take birth. From the novel portion of Garbha Udak Sai Vishnu, there is a lotus flower, golden lotus sprouts, and on the top, Brahmaji appears. Brahmaji is the first living being within the universe. Within each and every universe, Brahmaji is the first living being. And from him, all other demigods and living creatures born. So Brahmaji begets all the children, and then they produce all the demigods and all the Rakshasas and everyone, all living creatures. And Manu is the original father of mankind. And Manu is the son of Brahmaji, right? So Manu, and he is the father of mankind. And so he is the son of Brahmaji. Therefore, in Sanskrit, mankind is called Manusya. Mankind is humanity in different bodily qualities is distributed throughout the various planetary systems. So we are not only humans in this universe. Here Prabhupada says humanity in different bodily qualities is distributed throughout various planetary systems. So in one universe there are 14 planetary systems, 14 lokas. And that's what Prabhupada means here, that there are 14 planetary systems and there are humans distributed throughout the various planetary systems. So I think this verse is clear. The gigantic Virat Purusha known as Hiranmaya lived for 1000 celestial years on the water of the universe. And all the living entities lay with him. So, and then after the Brahmaji takes birth, then he creates, he gives body to all the souls, all the jiva. And Prabhupada also here makes clear that all the devatas, the demigods are born out of Brahmaji. So Brahmaji creates all the rishis, like Sapta rishis, and they beget all the children like Kasyapji. Kasyapji is father of all the demigods. Mother Aditi, Kasyapji had two wives, Diti and Aditi. So Mother Aditi is mother of all the demigods, and Diti is the mother of all the Daitya, all the Rakshasas, all the demons. So in that way we can understand this verse with the help of Prabhupada. I think it's clear. Any comments or questions so far?
So this Prabhuji, this Hiranmaya, right? So did Prabhupada mention why it is called Hiranmaya? In the first line in the translation,
Yeah.
if you say that, can you come down? The gigantic Virat Purusha known as Hiranmaya, right? So, so Hiranmaya means exactly Hiranmaya Patrena. That verse comes in Isopanishad, right?
Yeah.
So that is. So yeah, I'm just trying to recollect what is that Hiranmaya means.
Yeah.
It's like golden.
Yeah, it's like golden, right? Hiranya means gold. So Hiranya was like golden, right? And also
Yes.
Prabhupada mentioned that the lotus flower is like golden lotus. So also it's so big that we can't see that. So 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 Prabhupada mentions here the Hiranmaya is Garbhodaksai Vishnu, right? And
Right.
yeah. but I don't think he has described that what is the why it's called Hiranmaya.
It's basically, is it like the impersonal, the Brahma Jyoti, it reflects and it becomes golden or something. I'm forgetting that. Yeah,
Yeah, but we are not talking about here Brahma Jyoti.
right.
Yeah, but Prabhupada explained that the lotus flower is golden lotus, and
Okay.
yeah. So I hope there is a connection that Garbhodak Sai Vishnu is also Hiranmaya, like golden color. But we can keep searching that because Prabhupada translate here Hiranmaya, the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, who also assumes the Virat Rupa. So it's clear that it is Garbhodak Sai Vishnu who assumes the Virat Rupa. Right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah. So any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept
Hare
my
Krishna.
humble obeisances.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, what is the celestial years? That means the celestial years. That means on the earth, the years on the earth.
No, it's a year according to the upper planetary system. Like for example, Brahmaji's um, year, because this is talking about Brahmaji, right? So 1000 celestial years. So the year uh, which is correct as per celestial. So it's uh, since they are talking about Brahmaji here after here. All the living entities injected within the womb of Mahatattva are divided in all universes with the incarnation of Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, and all of them lie down within the Lord until Brahma is born. Right? So it's talking about birth of Brahmaji, and Brahmaji lives in the Brahmaloka here. So this is the poster that I showed, and there are 14 planetary systems here. We are here in the middle. We are here in the middle of one universe, that Bhuloka. And then if you go down, Bhuva, Maha, up. If you go up, then we have Bhuva, Maha, Bhuva, Swaha, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Sattu. On the top we have Satyaloka. And then we have various planets on down the earth. And they are called Atal, Bital, Sutal, Mahatal, Rasatal. Atal, Bital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, and Patal. So that's what these are the planetary system. And since it's talking about Brahmaji, whatever time is there in the Brahmaloka, that's what we call celestial years. So in Bhagavad Gita, at different places, Prabhupada gave uh, description of how we calculate the celestial years. So, like in the Krishna Lila also, it was mentioned that uh, our Brahmaji's one moment is equal to 1 year at the earth, and that's what. So we can calculate. how much it will be Brahmaji's 1 year. Because Brahmaji's 1 day, in Brahmaji's 1 day, there are 100 yuga, 100 yuga. So Kali Yuga, and then Satyug, and then Treta
Taujug.
and Dwapar. All 4 yuga, eh, once they recycle 1,000 times, that's 1 day of Brahmaji, 12 hours of Brahmaji. So you can calculate what is the 1 year of Brahmaji. And here we are talking about 1,000 celestial years, 1,000 years of Brahmaji. Right, Prabhuji? Am I right?
Yes, Prabhuji, actually here it's not talking about the hour year. It is
Yeah,
basically celestial years means we can calculate in our Brahma days and in terms of that. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Maybe it would be easier to realize when it would be the chart, but it's all good. I'll find it probably on the
Yes, yeah.
internet.
There is a chart on ISKCON desire tree. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will forward you, Mataji, later. It's in the group also.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate.
Okay, posted in the group. You can.
Yeah. This is the chart. You can see this is the Chatur Yuga, all the 4 yuga. Here is the Satya Yuga as part of the pie chart. And then we have Treta Yuga, and then we have Dwapar, and then we have Kali Yuga. You can see Kali Yuga, Dwapar is twice the Kali Yuga, and thrice, 3 times is the Treta Yuga, and 4 times is the Satya Yuga. So Kali Yuga is 432,000 years, and then the twice of this is Dwapara, and 3 times is Treta, and 4 times is Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga. And this is, you can see here, this is the life of Brahmaji, 311 trillion years. And this is 1 day of Brahma. You can see 1 day of Brahma. In 1 day of Brahma, there are 1,000 yuga cycle. So it's here. There are 14 Manu. This talks about 14 Manu. And then in 1 Manu, we have 71 Dibya Yuga. Means 71 times all 4 Yuga cycles. So in 1 Dibya Yuga, you can see here 1 time Satya Yuga, Treta, and Dwapar and Kali Yuga. The cycles. And then you can see then in 1 day of Brahmaji, if you multiply the 71 Dibya Yuga into 14, that comes around 1,000. So this helps us understand what is the 1 day of Brahmaji, and then we can calculate how much is 1,000 years of Brahmaji. And Brahmaji just lives only 100 years. From his calculation, he lives 100 years. But here we are talking about 1,000 yuga, 1,000 years, 1,000 celestial
100,
years.
100 days, Prabhu, his calculation.
100 years.
Brahmaji's life, right?
Yeah, 100 years.
No,
From his calculation.
his calculation is 100 days, and 1 day is as you mentioned, 12 hours, right? It's like 1,000 Chatur Yuga cycle, and a night thousand, like 2000 Chaturika cycle is one day of his. Like that, he lives for 100 days.
I
That's
thought
what.
100 years. Let's calculate, Prabhuji. It's 4.32 billion years, right? 4.32 billion years.
That is one kalpa, and
That's one day.
into
Yeah.
two because day it comes day also. So I mean night
You
also,
see,
night and day.
36,000. You see here it says clearly 36,000 days of Brahmaji. So 30,
36,000 kalpas,
no.
days of Brahmaji.
One kalpa is one day of Brahmaji. So 36,000 divided by 365. That's about 97 years. Okay. Brahmaji lived 100 years. And his one day is 4.32 billion years. And if you multiply this by 36,000, that will come to 311 trillion years. His 50 years is gone. He is more than 50 years old, Brahmaji, now. Because in Sankalpa, we recite Om Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. And we say Dvitiya Parardhe. Parardh means half of the life. Dvitiya Parardha. His life is divided into two parardha, means first 50 years and second last 50 years. So he spent his first 50 years. He is spending his second 50 years. That's what we call it Dvitiya Parardhe. And then we say
Yes,
Sri Svet Parakalpe.
yes,
Vaivasvat Manvantare. Ashtavinshattame Kaljuge Kali Pratham Charane. So in the Sankalpa, when we do Karma Kanda, in the Sankalpa, we define the time. We define the time where we are. So Brahmaji lived age 155 trillion years, and he is living in that. After that, he is in Barakalpa, Svet Barakalpa, and then Ashtavisatitame Juge Kali Juge. Then 28th cycle of the 4 Yugas, we are in the Kali Yuga. And before that, Bhagavan Krishna came in the Dwapara. So it is mentioned that Bhagavan Krishna comes in the 28th Chaturjugi at the junction of Dwapara and Kali Yuga in every day of Brahma. So that's why we are lucky. So he spent 50 years, and then after that he is in the Sri Svet Varakalpa. We are in the Varakalpa by Vaswat Manvantara. Then there are different Manus name. The 14 Manus, there are different name in the Shastra. We can find in different Puranas, in Bhagavad Purana also. And then Varakalpa, Vaivasvat Manvantare, Ashtavisat. And then in Vaivasvat Manu, there is a 28th, there is 70, in each Manu there are 71 Dibya Yuga, but we are in the 28th Dibya Yuga cycle. So
yes.
Ashtavisatame Yuge, Kali Yuge, Kali Pratham. And then we are in the first part of the Kali Yuga. There are 4 parts. Each Yuga divided into 4 parts. We are in the first part. So just started. Is that clear, Mataji? Now you
Yes,
can
yes,
see
Prabhu. As I see the chart, it's all
everything
clear.
is 14
Yeah.
Manvantaras and 15 Sandhyas. So the Sandhyas means the junction of
Junction.
different yugas. And the night is the same length. So we can calculate all that. And here is to start with all the 4 yugas, and then 71 times cycle of all 4 yuga is 1 Manvantara, means 1 Manu. So this is the kingdom of 1 Manu. So this by Vaswat Manu will rule for 71 Dibya Yuga, and we are at the 28th Dibya Yuga here, somewhere here. So suppose this is from left to right, it's 71. So we are here at the somewhere 28th Yuga cycle. And then this Vaivasvat Manu will be king for all over until 71 Yuga cycle spends. And then there will be another Manu comes. Then he will rule. Then another Manu will rule. Then another Manu will rule. Then after 14 Manu, Brahma Devi will go to sleep. Then partial devastation takes place. All the living entities will go in the Satyaloka, and they will be there. When Brahmaji will wake up after the same time, after the 1000 Chaturjugi, after the 1000 cycle of the 4 Yugas, then he will start creating all the bodies, and he will give bodies to all the souls. So any other questions? Yes.
So Prabhuji, is Earth gonna be diminished after this yuga?
I think Earth will be there. Brahmaji is the secondary creator. Okay. So Karan Udak Sai Vishnu is creating universe, who is lying down in the Kajal ocean. So Karan Udak Sai Vishnu is creating the skeleton, all the universe. So that is not going to dissolve.
I see.
That is going to dissolve after Brahmaji is going to die. Okay. When Brahmaji is going to die, then the complete devastation takes place, and all the universe will shrink, because of the way they were created. So earth, water, air, fire, ether, sky. And then earth was created at the end. So earth will start burning, fire. So it will go into fire. So we can see sequence in the Bhagavad Mahapurana. The sequence is described that first, I think first the sound was created, or sky was created. And then the fire was created, air was created, and the fire was created, and water. So similarly, I remember at the end, for sure I remember at the end, the earth was created. So earth has quality of air, water, fire, and sky. So earth has all the qualities. So earth will degrade into all these ingredients, all these gross elements. And then ultimately everything will be dissolved, everything will diminish. And whatever the remnants will be, that will go in the body of Mahavishnu. So Brahmaji, when Brahmaji sleeps, everything will be same. Everything will be flooded with water. That's all. No jiva will be there, only water all around. When Brahmaji wakes up, he will start creating all the bodies, and then everybody will get bodies.
Prabhu, as you saying of water, is it material water, or is it just
material water? Yeah, material water.
I see.
Yeah. So Shankarji will get fire from Sesnag, because each universe is resting on the hood of Sesnag. Okay. Here
And
you
what
can
is that,
see.
Prabhu? I'm sorry. Can you
What?
explain? What is that? You said
Here you see the poster. I recommend buying this poster. You see,
right.
this one universe is resting on the hoods of Sesnag, right? You see,
I
there
see,
is
I
a
see.
snake
Now I
at the
see.
bottom.
Right.
So Shankarji will get fire from the Sesnag, right? Rama is Balaram, right? So Shankarji chants all the time, Ram, 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 right? So Ram has two meaning. Ram is Ramachandraji, and Ram is Balaram also, right? So Shankarji is devotee of Shankarsan, right? And Shankarsan is Sesnag here, who is holding each universe, right? So when Brahmaji goes to sleep, Shankarji will get fire from Sesnag and he will burn everything. Okay. So everything will be flooded in water. I'm not sure if I think that will happen when Brahmaji is going inside Mahavishnu's body. Then Shankarji will burn everything. So fire will burn, air will burn, everything will be diminished. Okay?
Right, right.
But during incomplete devastation, here when Brahmaji is going to sleep, here when Brahmaji is going to sleep, then the skeleton will be there, all the lokas will be there, and he just need to create all the creatures, all the living entities. Okay, he will give the body, all the jivas will be there with Brahmaji. Any other questions or comments?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Wonderful class.
Thank you,
Think it's-
Prabhu. I'm the only one asking all the questions. I'm sorry. Thank you for all the explanations.
No, it's okay, Mataji. Many people don't know, so we need to clarify.
Right, right. And I'm a beginner, so I don't know anything.
Yeah, so we
Thank
need
you.
to read and we need to discuss. And this is very good chart that helps us understand. There are all the names of the Manus and all that. So we can understand that, in Karma Kanda, we define all that. I was also not knowing all this, I did Karma Kanda for about 15 years in my childhood, but I was not aware of all this, I remember by heart that Ditiya Parardhe. So Ditiya Parardhe means that it's the second half life of the Brahmaji. Ditiya Parardhe, Sri Svetavara Kalpe. And then the Kalpa's name is also defined where we are, we are in the Svetavara Kalpa, Svetavara Kalpe, Vaivasvat Manvantare. In the Svetavara Kalpa, you can see in one day, this is one day of Brahmaji, and there are name of the Kalpa also. There are names of each day of Brahmaji. You can imagine all the definition is given. So that's Sri Svetavara Kalpa. And then by Vasvat Manvantare, then each Kalpa there are 14 Manu. So the present Manu's name is by Vasvat Manu. Okay. So all that details, all the Karam Kandi they recite at the beginning of the Karam Kanda. And some of them know, but most of them they don't know what it means, But now when we study all this, then we can connect the dot, go back and connect the dots, and then we can see that we are defining time where we are and what we are doing, So if we do any donation, we all do all that sankalpa and then we define what we are doing, all that. Okay. It's very interesting and it's very scientific.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain to somebody who
Yeah,
doesn't know.
it's hard to explain, but once we hear it again and again, these things will make sense. Okay, Prabhuji, it's 8.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Let's offer our all the shoulders to the
If we don't have any questions or comments, we can end up in here, right?
Yes.
Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. वैष्णव ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय। गौर निताय की जय।
जय।
Alarnath Prabhu ji ki jai.
जय।